Today's session is going to be a blooming session because we are going to discuss Padma, all about Padma, the lotus. Well, Anukulam is also talking about being favorable to all, for no one will act against oneself. Several avatars or incarnations. Why is that needed? That feel inspired and follow, and for us to use different tools at different points in time. Different propensities within us also need to come at different points in time for us to do certain activity. Means one having Padma or lotus in his hands. I think the pictures also show, always, most of the time, you see he is seated on the Padma or lotus, or the goddesses are also seated on the Padma. That is, Shariram refers to a body. Yeah, so our bodies need to be. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Jai Shri Ram. Welcome back to the Glaze Studios oil painting vlog number 36 of Sri Vishnu Sahasranamavali. This is a painting that follows the principle of calligram or micrography, through which the 1000 names of Sri Vishnu are getting painted. While the process is going on, I am also trying to understand the names and their meanings, deeper meanings, with the help of scriptures from Sanāthana Dharma. The same is being shared with you on these weekly vlogs, wherein we go through 10 names and their meanings and take those tangential perspectives from various scriptures and have a nice discussion about it. We have already covered names up to 340 in our previous vlogs. If you haven't checked it out, please do so and come back, because it will be so much interconnected. Though we cover 10 names at a time, there is a lot of interconnection that you will see that I am frequently referring to a vlog that I covered, wherein I covered things in a greater detail. That will be more useful to you. So please do check it out and come back to this. In this week's session, we are going to cover names from 341 through 350 and their meanings, and along with it, today's session is going to be a blooming session because we are going to discuss Padma, all about Padma, the lotus, that's frequently referred to in Sanatana Dharma everywhere. Why? What is it? And why is it so important? We'll go through that today. But before that, let's get started with the names and the meanings first. 341st name is Om Janeshwaraya Namaha. That refers to the Lord of all beings. 342nd name is Om Anukulaya Namaha. This refers to one being the Atman of all the beings, is favorable. Anukulam is also talking about being favorable to all, for no one will act against oneself. Hopefully. So one, he is the being that is being the Atma of all the beings, the inner propensity within us that is being favorable to us. So at least we are able to take care of ourselves. Anukulaya Namaha, that was the name. 343rd name is Om Shatavartaya Namaha, means one who has had several avatars or incarnations. I think in our vlog number 34, when we discussed Skanda, I also did a elaborate discussion on this several avatars or incarnations. Why is that needed? And also for us to feel inspired. I will just quickly summarize from that session that we went to understand that the avatars are incarnations. Different propensities are coming out of one God, so that the relatability aspect for us to feel inspired and follow, and for us to use different tools at different points in time. Different propensities within us also need to come at different points in time for us to do certain activities. If I have to sit through an examination for 3 hours or 4 hours, I need to have that propensity energy to be focused on the questions being asked, isn't it? So there is a different requirement now that I am sitting with you on camera. So these propensities, in us also is stemming from those incarnations that are giving us these tips and tricks, we can call it. So this name is actually, paving way to that bigger meaning, one who has had or will possibly be continuing to have several avatars or incarnations. 344th name is Om Padmine Namaha. Here it comes, Padma. Padmine Namaha here means one having Padma or lotus in his hands. I think the pictures also show always, most of the time, you see he is seated on the Padma or lotus, or the goddesses are also seated on the Padma, or they at least hold Padma or lotus in their hands. Yeah. So here it means one who is holding the Padma or lotus in the hands. 345th name is again Padma. Let's see. Om Padmani Bekshanaya Namaha. Padmani Bekshanaya Namaha refers to one with eyes resembling lotus. Okay, it was fair enough that we said that he or she is seated on a lotus, holding lotus, and now it's like the eye is resembling lotus. That's what the meaning is here. 346th name is Om Padmanabhaya Namaha, one who resides in the NAABI or central part of heart lotus. One who resides in the NAABI or the central part of the heart. NAABI refers to the navel area, or even the central part here of the heart lotus. The heart is also defined as lotus here. Eyes lotus, hands holding lotus, and now even from the NAABI there is a lotus coming out in this image that we are working on. The central part is also heart lotus. Okay, what else is lotus? 347th name is Om Aravindakshayi Namaha, one whose eyes resembles Aravinda lotus. Surprise! 348th name is Om Padmagarbhaya Namaha, one who is fit to be worshipped in the middle of the heart lotus. Also Garbhaya Namaha refers to this, Padma that is coming out of him. So there is, the meaning again repeating itself. But here in this context, one who is fit to be worshipped in the middle of the heart lotus. Yes, 349th name is Om Sharira Brute Namaha. Sharira Brute Namaha refers to one who supports the bodies of beings, strengthening them in the form of Annam, that is food, and Prana. So he is the one that is, Shariram refers to a body. Yeah. So our bodies need to be supported or strengthened. How? We need our prana, the life energy. We need annam, that is food. Yeah. So he is the one that is supporting all of us. 350th name, 350, is Om Mahardaye Namaha. That means one who has enormous ruddhi or propensity. He has many propensities, and we talked about that also in 343rd name. That is, again calling out to this name, connecting to the different propensities, enormous propensities. That was the end of the names and the meanings. Now let's jump into Padma. Padma everywhere. Why is lotus everywhere? I think before I go on to the explanation, this is also a frequently asked question. Now that I'm living in a different part of the world, I do get frequently asked, why are you painting pictures with gods and goddesses sitting in or standing on a lotus? So this is also a question that's going to be addressed in this session now. So Padma, first of all, the flower, in Sanatana Dharma represents spiritual enlightenment, beauty, fertility, purity, prosperity and eternity. Now you at least at a high level know why the lotus is so important to be represented in every picture that you see. Yeah, spiritual enlightenment, beauty, fertility, purity, prosperity and eternity. Why is that flower chosen out of all flowers? There are many other flowers you can choose. Let's look at much more deeper meaning here. Another word for this lotus flower is also pankaj, okay, which means born from mud. There are also other flowers born from mud, but I just want to understand a little more. Let's look at the explanation here. The lotus flower grows from the mud and it's found, from the bottom of the lake, and yet it rises above the water and blossoms towards the sun. There is the it's a metaphor that you can understand. So it is representing something that is born amidst dirt, rises above it, complete focus, doesn't get disturbed by the dirt at all, clean, completely getting out of that dirt, rising about it, and while it retains the purity, it also focuses on the sun and opens up and blooms, isn't it? So that is the context from which this flower is looked at, and that is also a reason why it is chosen to be the flower that is representing a spiritual enlightenment. Why? Of course, a spiritually enlightened person is maybe sitting among us, is also going through the life cycle just like us, disturbed by everything, yet untouched by that, and still able to focus on what he or she really is working towards and rise above all that. That is a simple example of a spiritually enlightened person. Okay, is the flower only so much important, or anything else about the flower? What about the leaf? I was also thinking about that, and I needed the help of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Canto number 5, verse 10. Let's go over that together. Brahmani adaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate na saha papena padmapatram eva ambasa. Means Brahmani points onto the supreme personality of Godhead, adaya, resigning, karmani, all the works, sangam, attachment, tyaktva, giving up, karoti, performs, yaha, who, lipyate, is affected, na, never affected, isn't it? Saha, he, papena, by sin, padmapatram, a lotus leaf. Padmapatram is lotus leaf, so that is also now not just the flower, lotus leaf is also pulled into this purity discussion. Eva, like, ambasa, that is by the water. Now let's look at the meaning here. So one who, giving up attachment, performs all actions dedicating them onto the Lord, always remains untainted by the sin, in the same way as the lotus leaf remains untouched by the water. So even the lotus leaf is now pointed. So if you look at the lotus leaves, they are also, in practicality, you can see it even today in temples and religious places in India, and also in many locations. It's common to see plates, leaves, lotus leaves used as plates, and the reason why they are used as such is that they are practically waterproof, and the liquid poured onto them, it doesn't get soaked through, but it runs off that, so it's easy to handle. Although the lotus owes its birth, growth, and sustenance to water. So it needs, lotus definitely needs water. It doesn't mean that it has nothing to do, it has no connection, zero connection with the dirt or zero connection with the water that it observes. It is totally connected, well rooted, and that's exactly what we call detached attachment, isn't it? All the birth, growth, sustenance, everything of a lotus definitely needs, at every step it needs water, but the leaf doesn't permit itself to be soaked or wetted by water. So there is a limit where it says, I will take all that you give, use it effectively, but I will not let you further. And that limit in the mind is coming back to the friends of Kama, Krodha and such, are good friends that we discussed in one of the vlogs, that we know the limit of when to observe or use all these propensities within us, negativities though not necessarily they are negative and though not necessarily need to be eradicated. We need to know when to control, when to stop, and when to let go. Yeah. So, and this lotus is also the reason why the lotus flower and the leaf put together as a package is a beautiful representation of spiritual enlightenment, beauty, fertility, purity, prosperity, and eternity. And that's exactly why you see them in every single imagery in Sanatana Dharma. I hope you found this interesting and useful. Is there any other flowers or any other symbolic elements that you find very interesting and you have any questions about it? Please do share that. Most probably I will definitely do the research and come back to you with the answers. Do share your thoughts on this session about Padma and or anything else that you have found inspiring about this. Until we meet in the next session, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, stay motivated. Thank you. Bye-bye.